Alright, so we're back. We're battling cave spiders. We just
Spiders!
we just wrecked up their home. Maybe we're the monsters.
I mean, we did kind of invade their place and just, like, break their home. And I think I found some more spiders over here.
No! It got me!
Hey,
Did you bring milk?
I did not bring milk. Oh gosh, it got me! No! Okay, so this way. And then go
Hold on a second.
this way. Ugh. Spiders.
At least there's not a whole ton of them over here.
Don't go too far backwards, though. We'll cover this up. That seems like it could be dangerous.
I'm almost to the spawner.
Which way is the spawner?
I got it.
I think there's more than one spawner over here. There's double webs. I think there's also a spawner this way. Or maybe there's just lots of webs.
There's a ton of webs.
Ugh. This is awful. At least we got string. I don't know what we're gonna do with all this string.
So now we'll continue the story about the Nissan 350Z. It has a really aggressive traction control, or mine was just bad. But we were going down the highway about 60 miles an hour, and we hit a bump in the road. It was one of the seams over for underpasses where it meets the regular ground. And so we hit this bump. It jarred the transmission and the clutch loose from the engine just for a split second, but long enough to really mess things up. And at that point, the traction control decides, oh, we're slipping. Let's turn everything off. And so it literally disengaged the transmission from the engine. And I couldn't accelerate. I couldn't do anything. I had to pull over to the side and let the system reset itself.
Zombies.
So that was part of my fun time with the 350Z. Where did we come up here? Baby zombie!
I'm already lost.
Here. Oh, that track was keeping that water in check.
Well, at least we're gonna have a lot of coal and iron. Holy butts!
What?
This just goes on forever.
I think I've hit another layer of mine over here.
There's another layer over here. Ah! I got a spawner!
Like a legit spawner?
A legit big spider spawner.
Oh, that's not a spawner. That's just a nuisance.
That's just a crime.
And so part of the reason that I decided to sell my Nissan 350Z, these freaking spiders. There's another poison one. Was because I literally found the car of my dreams. And now, you might think I have strange tastes. And that's generally a true statement. But it is a 1977 Toyota Celica GT Fastback. And I saw this car on Craigslist, and I thought it was a scam. Because there's cars on Craigslist aren't that nice for that cheap, especially rare cars. Because despite its popularity, it is the first gen Celicas are quite rare to find, at least in good condition. It's one of those things where literally everyone I talk to is like, "Oh yeah, an old Toyota. Yeah, one of my buddies had one of those." So everyone like knows someone who's owned one, but no one actually knows anything about them or owns one. So it's kind of an odd situation. But is there a chest over here?
I thought you were looking in it.
Let's see. I don't need that. Dirt. I got dirt for some reason. I need... So I found this Celica, and surprisingly it was within my budget for cars. A little bit over, but it was an acceptable sacrifice. And I went and we looked at it, and my God, it was beautiful. And it drove. And I mean, that was a surprising thing. Like, you know, I'd looked at these cars, and I just always seen them, and I thought, oh my gosh, it'd be fun to have one, to drive one. I've never actually driven one. The first time I drove one was the night I went and looked at the car own, and that was back in what, October?
Yeah, and you came back to the car with this giant shit-eating grin.
Yeah, I mean, it's not...
Even if the car had been terrible at that time, there was no way that I could, like, say no.
It's not...
Oh, I think we have a spawner here. I heard, like, 12 zombies. I'm saying 12, but it's probably only 5.
So the Celica is not a... I mean, it's not an amazing, outstanding car. It's not a remarkable car for the most part. The only thing it really has that stands out is its looks, because it looks like an old Mustang. But honestly, I think it does it better. Like, it's got some little features and details that just kind of give it its own little personality. And, I mean, Toyota knew what it was doing back in the 70s. I used to own a 1977 or 76 Toyota Corolla. It was a four-door sedan with this gross Landau top, like this polyvinyl Landau top. You got a guy coming behind you.
I know. I'm trying to type and I just can't. I can't type and play at the same time. It doesn't work.
Type faster. This sounds like a high school typing thing.
I see another poison spider, which means we're close to another spawner. Yeah, I already looted that. I know, I'm a terrible wife. I didn't even tell you it was there.
So yeah, so my Corolla was this gross, like everyone said, baby poop yellow, and yeah, it was pretty bad. But that was
like that color.
That was a pretty fun car, despite its issues. I mean, when I had that one, I literally spent more time fixing it than driving it. I did manage to, I did deliver pizza with it for a couple of months. And that was pretty fun to see people's faces as you drive up in this old Celica. Or not Celica, Corolla. And it got me a lot of tips because it was pretty bad condition. People felt sorry for me. I think there's another spider spawner.
I told you there would be.
Oh, good Lord. I'm going to eat some steak.
Okay, while we have a break in the story, I'm going to make the announcement that today's stream soundtrack has actually just changed from the basic Blood Dragon soundtrack to a mix on Spotify called Super Fighting Robot, which includes the Blood Dragon soundtrack, some Kavinsky, Mega Drive, the Tron soundtrack. Yeah, so basically anything you want to hear that has an 80s feel to it. And techno, electronic funness.
Can you even hear me on your side? Like
Yes.
Inside?
I have been told that you are able to be heard. Low Animal, how is his levels? When you hear him, is he really low, or is he coming across clear enough to be understood?
Are they listening to my stories?
Well, I've been staying quiet so that they can hear your stories, and I don't think
I'll get back here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I've found another layer of mine.
How do I, where are you? I got lost. I don't know where I am. Oh, but it's cold here. Low Animal says they can understand you. You're clear. You could be a little louder. Well, honestly, that's because I've got an awesome mic now, but he is also sitting 10 feet away.
Oh. Well, I could go play in the laptop in the other room.
I don't want to have to do that, though.
Oh, I found a chest and a minecart. Aw, yeah.
You shouldn't have told me about it, then we'd be equal.
Well, there's nothing there.
Oh.
5 redstone, some horse armor.
Redstone and horse armor is practically useless.
Yeah, pretty much. So, where are you?
I don't even know where I am. How can I tell you the answer to that question?
Stay right there.
Okay. What can I get rid of? Rotten flesh.
So yeah, the moral of the story is I ended up with the car that I really wanted. It broke almost immediately. Which is pretty par for the course. Based upon my Nissan 350Z. Because that car, I got to drive home. I parked it in the parking lot. The wife wanted to go on a drive in it. And we got halfway around town before the engine light came on for the first time. And I realized that there was a problem.
It wasn't even halfway. We got out of the driveway.
And that was, let's see, ownership about 3 hours. So the Celica beats the 350Z because I got maybe 30 minutes. Because I went to go see my dad after I bought the car. And he really liked it. And he got to admire it from his room. And then I drove home. I left the 350Z at his house and drove home in the Celica. And started hearing the connector rods knocking around. And I think the MR2 stood up fairly well. I have a thing for old Toyotas. It could be a problem. I keep talking Jessica, or trying to talk Jessica into like a Supra. Or maybe an old Corolla. I saw, why does this zombie have a chest? I saw the other day there was an ad for a TE70? No, it was a 1970 Toyota Corolla. It was the kind of a little fastback coupe, and it was automatic, and they wanted $4,500. And you can't believe how cheap that is for a car in that condition, especially for that rarity. Is a TE27 Toyota Corolla. Google that business, and you will be pleased. Where did you go?
I went back to the.
We need to make a legit entrance to this area.
Just go straight through here.
Yeah, let's head back to the mine. Or the mine camp.
I was just back at the mine.
Mine camp. Mine camp. I don't know how to spell Mein Kampf.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh.
So,
Are we making Nazi jokes now?
yes, we are making Nazi jokes now. I'm actually going to tell you guys, since most of you were here for when my little brother was here, his wife speaks sign language. She's actually in the Netherlands, but multiple members of her family are deaf, and they speak with sign language. So he's telling us that they invited him to this meal, and it was a meal for deaf people. And so his wife was translating for him. Then they start making motions like this. And he said it was the funniest thing he's ever seen. People in Poland, deaf people, making Hitler jokes. And actually, it sounds pretty funny to me too. Can you imagine being in a room full of deaf people and someone makes a Hitler joke? The deaf person, sign language, signs a Hitler joke, and everybody in the room finds it amusing. Half the time when you tell a joke, there's always at least one person in the room who's not laughing. So
The trick is to not be that person.
yeah, the trick is to not be that person. That means you didn't get the joke.
So yeah, I'm gonna cut this video at this point.
We're gonna edit out the Nazi jokes.
I don't know. It's been 16 minutes. I haven't said much in the last couple of minutes, and I don't think you show up on my microphone as well as I show up on yours.
I do not show up on your microphone as well as you show up on mine. Because my microphone is probably twice as expensive as yours.
Well, yeah.
Thanks, Miles! I think every time I use it, I'm going to have to thank him because that's awesome. So, the drink of today...
You're not organizing the chests.
No, I'm not organizing those chests. I didn't know there was supposed to be organization to them.
Oh.
I'm just dumping crap in there. So, the drink of today is Death Valley Cream Soda.
Alright, well, I'm going to call this for right now, and we'll see you in the future.